Anthropic just dropped their most powerful AI model ever, and it's not even close. Claude Opus 4.6 doesn't just beat every other AI on the planet in coding. It doesn't just crush GPT 5.2 in real-world work tasks. It does something no AI model has ever done before. It can read and actually understand 1 million tokens of context. That's roughly 7 full novels at once. And here's the thing most people are missing about this release. Let's be real for a second. Every few weeks, a new AI model drops, and everyone says it's the best ever. So what actually makes Opus 4.6 different? 3 things. First, this model thinks before it answers, not in the way previous models pretended to. Opus 4.6 genuinely pauses, reconsiders its own reasoning, catches its own mistakes, and then gives you a better answer. Anthropic's own engineers said the model brings more focus to the hardest parts of a task without anyone telling it to. It just knows where to spend its effort. Second, it doesn't forget. One of the biggest complaints about AI has been context rot. You're deep into a long conversation, and suddenly the AI forgets what you told it 20 minutes ago. Opus 4.6 was tested on a brutal benchmark called MRCRV2, basically hiding needles in a massive haystack of text and seeing if the model can find them. The previous model, Sonnet 4.5, it scored 18.5%. Opus 4.6, 76%. That's not an improvement. That's a completely different league. And third, it actually works. Not on toy benchmarks, on real jobs. Now, I know benchmark numbers can feel abstract, so let me break this down in plain English. There's a test called GDP-Val-AA. It measures how well an AI performs on tasks that actually make money: finance, legal work, business analysis. Real professional work. Opus 4.6 didn't just win, it beat OpenAI's GPT 5.2 by 144 ELO points. To put that in perspective, that means if you ran the same task on both models, Opus 4.6 would produce the better result about 70% of the time, and compared to its own predecessor, Opus 4.5, it beat that by 190 points. Then there's Terminal Bench 2.0, a test for agentic coding, meaning the AI writes code, runs it, debugs it, and iterates on its own. Opus 4.6 got the highest score of any model ever tested. Humanity's last exam, a test designed to be so hard that it stumps frontier models with questions from dozens of academic disciplines. Opus 4.6 leads every other model there too. And BrowseComp, which measures how well an AI can hunt down hard-to-find information online. Again, number 1. But here's what really caught my attention. It's not the benchmarks. It's what the companies actually using this model are saying. Notion called it less like a tool and more like a capable collaborator. GitHub said it's unlocking long-horizon tasks at the frontier. Riplet's president said it's a huge leap for agentic planning. And Cursor, one of the most popular AI coding tools, said Opus 4.6 stands out for its ability to navigate massive code bases. But here's the one that stopped me in my tracks. Norway's sovereign wealth fund, one of the largest investment funds on the planet, tested it on 40 cybersecurity investigations. In a blind ranking against previous Claude models, Opus 4.6 won 38 out of 40 times. Each test involved up to 9 sub-agents and over 100 tool calls. That's not a chatbot answering questions. That's an AI running complex security operations almost flawlessly. And this connects to something bigger that Anthropic is doing. Opus 4.6 isn't just a smarter brain. Anthropic built an entire ecosystem around it. First, agent teams in Claude Code. You can now spin up multiple AI agents that work together in parallel. Imagine you need a full code base reviewed. Instead of one agent reading through everything line by line, you deploy a team. They split the work, coordinate autonomously, and report back. This is how AI coding is going to work going forward. Second, adaptive thinking. Previously, developers had a simple on-off switch for extended thinking. Now, the model decides for itself when deeper reasoning is needed. It's like giving the AI the ability to know when a problem deserves 5 seconds of thought versus 5 minutes. Third, context compaction. Long conversations used to hit a wall when the context window filled up. Now, Claude can automatically summarize older parts of the conversation to make room for new information, without losing the important stuff. And fourth, Claude now works inside Excel and PowerPoint. It can ingest messy data, figure out the structure on its own, process it in a spreadsheet, and then build a branded presentation from it, all without you having to format a single cell. Now, here's the part that might surprise you. Usually, when an AI model gets dramatically smarter, safety takes a hit. Not this time. Anthropic ran what they're calling the most comprehensive safety evaluation of any model ever released. And Opus 4.6 actually matched or beat its predecessor on alignment, the same predecessor that was already their safest model to date. It showed lower rates of deception, sycophancy, and what they call encouragement of user delusions. Basically, telling you what you want to hear instead of the truth. And it has the lowest rate of over-refusals of any recent Claude model, meaning it doesn't unnecessarily refuse to answer harmless questions. Because of its enhanced cybersecurity abilities, Anthropic also built 6 new detection probes specifically to prevent misuse. And they're actually using the model to find and patch vulnerabilities in open-source software, turning its power into a defensive tool. Here's the kicker. The pricing hasn't changed. $5 per million input tokens, $25 per million output tokens. Same as before. For the 1 million token context window, there's premium pricing if you go over 200,000 tokens, but for most users, the cost stays the same. Opus 4.6 is available right now on Claude.ai through the API and on all major cloud platforms. If you're a developer, the model string is Claude Opus 4.6. We are living through the fastest period of AI advancement in history. Every month, the ceiling gets higher. If you're not paying attention, you're falling behind. If this video helped you understand what's happening, hit that subscribe button, because we cover every major AI development the moment it drops. I'll see you in the next one.